Effective use of media. How many different forms of media do you think you come across in one day? We are constantly bombarded with media in many different forms, including television, radio, and print, to name a few. Advertisers strategically use different types of media to present their messages. Their goal is to make us notice and believe their messages so that we will want to buy their product. The type of media that advertisers choose reflects the product they are selling and the audience they want to reach. A product can be more than an object for sale. It can also be an idea. A nonprofit group raising awareness for Alzheimer's is not selling us on Alzheimer's, but it is selling us on the idea that we need to demand that more research be done to help cure the disease. Politicians are not selling a physical product. Instead, they are selling themselves. Imagine that you are the advertiser and a travel agency hires you to help them sell a Caribbean vacation package. The first thing that you, as an advertiser, would need to consider is the form of media that would best communicate the feeling of a Caribbean vacation. Would it be the radio, television, print, email? What embodies the vacation? Is it the sound of the waves and gulls on the beach? Or is it the image of the sun over the ocean with waves crashing on the shoreline? Television advertising is ideal since you can see motion and hear sound. You can show the gulls over the perfect beach while hearing the waves crashing on the shore, and all of this while reaching millions of people. However, this comes at a price. Television is the most expensive type of advertising. A television commercial broadcast during prime time to a national audience averages about $110,000 per 30 seconds. This does not even factor in the cost of creating the commercial, which can run tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars. Overall, the average cost of a 30-second commercial on a national ad is more than $380,000. If this agency only needs to be advertised locally, the cost can tumble down for local stations, making the prospect of television advertising much more realistic. Magazine advertising can stimulate the customer's visual senses. Again, magazine advertising can be a costly medium. Between paying for models, photographers, and graphic designers to create the ad, and paying for the placement in the magazine, a full-page ad in a national magazine averages to $250,000 from start to finish. Once again, local magazines may be significantly less expensive, but they will not reach the same volume of potential customers. Direct mailings can also be effective. They take many of the benefits associated with advertising in a magazine and add an element of interactivity, getting potential customers to open and look through the advertisement. However, in addition to the cost of producing and mailing the advertisement, take into account the cost of acquiring lists of leads with addresses. Direct mailings can cost from 50 cents to $4 each, which might not seem like a lot, but if you are sending them to 500,000 people, you would end up spending $250,000 at the minimum. These high costs are why more and more companies are shifting advertising to multimedia advertising. They are using email, social media, search engines, and click-for-pay advertising to reach their potential customers for a fraction of what they previously spent. The costs for these can vary greatly, but one of the most common ones, search engine advertising, costs about $20,000 per month on average. Radio can be fairly inexpensive when compared with other types of advertising, but it only allows the use of sound. A 30-second radio ad during commute times costs about $2,000. However, research has shown that radio ads need to be heard approximately 3.5 times a day for 30 days to generate any real response. Increasing the cost, Once you add in production to $215,000 for 1 month, the radio ad should be heard 3.5 times per day. Advertisers effectively use different types of media by combining them to reach the maximum number of the right people in order to generate sales for a company. Advertisers start with the whole population and determine what group out of that population is most likely to purchase the product. Who would be more likely to purchase a Caribbean vacation? An upper-class 40-year-old married executive or a 16-year-old fast food worker? In order to be as efficient as possible, advertisers pinpoint who sees the ads. Let's say that they decide that the 2 most likely groups to purchase a Caribbean vacation are 28 to 35-year-old couples living in major metropolitans without kids, and 55 to 70-year-old retired married couples. In this case, advertisers may advertise with a retiree organization's magazine and localized television ads in the metro areas during a cable show popular among people between 28 and 35. This way, advertisers can spend the least amount of money to reach the most likely customers in the most effective way. Advertising is a balance of cost for exposure. Effectively using the many media types available is generally the difference between a successful company and one that disappears.